Test. 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 Can you hear me, Dr. Ashok?
ini audio cover video cover.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, this is Martina from Management Department, sir.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
இங்க அம்பேத்கர் லா யூனிவர்சிட்டி தானா?
ஆமா சார், ஆமா சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே குட் குட்.
கேக்குதா சார்?
கிளியரா இருக்கு.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
உங்க மைக்கை நான் மியூட் பண்ணி வச்சிடுறேன்.
ஓகே சார்.
Dr. Ashok. Dr. Ashok. Good morning, everyone. My name is Vignesh. I am part of the National Digital Library of India team. I look after the outreach of NDLI. So uh, let's let me give a slight background to what is the purpose of this webinar, and then we will move to the presentation. So I studied in one of those renowned institutions where the library is 24/7 open, and we have about 7-storied building of library with a few lakhs collection of resources ranging from all sorts of disciplines. So there in that library, I found three major challenges. First major challenge was uh, when we go to the library. Uh, we search for in the WPAC, we search for a resource which the faculty prescribe, and most of the times the good resources go to another faculty member who gets issued for 2 weeks, 14 days to 18 days. And unfortunately, whenever the resources are issued to a faculty member, it they keep renewing it for few times, at least for a couple of months, without any questions asked. And towards the end of the examination, we actually approach the so-called faculty who had issued that resource, and then we collect it from them, we photocopy it and give it back to the faculty. So that's most of the situations. Whenever good resources suggested, that's what we found it. And the second situation which we faced was, we go to the library, we search in the OPAC. The resource might be available in the so and so section, in the so and so rack. We go to that section, we search for that resource, except that one particular resource. We will find all the other resources. So one brilliant student in the campus might keep it in a location where only he can fetch that resource. So that is the second uh, challenge that we faced in the library. And the third challenge is, we go to the library, we search for the resource, it's available in the WPAC, it's available in the rack. But when we look for the specific section or specific chapter, except that one chapter, rest of the book would be there. Either the students tear it off, or like they may underline it with a pencil or a pen, which makes it unreadable for others. So that's three major challenges that I have personally experienced. This may be true in some of your experiences also. And this is one aspect. The another aspect is, in the last maybe few years, maybe 5 to 7 years, the budget allocations for the libraries has been drastically coming down. Say, for example, I might have visited around some 500 to 600 institutions in the last couple of years. Uh, the institutions, say, like few years back, suppose if it's a big institution, their budget was around 2 crore rupees for library, which has drastically come down to 20 lakhs, which is about 1/10 of the total budget that was allotted. And wherever the budget was like 20 lakh rupees, it has come down to 2 lakh rupees. Wherever the budget was 2 lakh rupees, it has come down to, say, very few thousand rupees. So as a result, what happens is, like, access to quality resources has drastically come down. And looking at this development, the government of India came up with this solution to democratize education. So that means, whether it's a very big institution or a very small institution, access to knowledge should be democratically equally given to every individual in this country. So with that purpose, they came up with the solution called National Digital Library of India, and it was launched in 2016, and we are in 2020. When we launched, we had a very few lakh resources, and today we have 4.78 crore resources, ranging from various disciplines, starting from school education till lifelong learning. So with this background, I will start with a small presentation which talks about NDLA and its and the way how, what are the kind of content that is available and how to access it. So can you all see this presentation? Okay. So the current generation, what they need is quality knowledge resource for anyone, anytime, anywhere. So basically, they want knowledge resources in their fingertips. So this is the perspective of NDLI. So if you look at the current scenario, every month, a million people, 10 lakh people attain the age of 18. And to address that educational requirement, higher educational requirement, India needs to set up 6 universities and 270 colleges every month to bridge the education divide. So you can, on the left hand side, you can see the India map. So except very few states, say Kerala, Goa, Mizoram and Tripura, the literacy level in rest of the states is less than 80 to 85 percentage, or in some states in the northern belt it's less than 75 percentage. So, and this like addressing this gap, we India has to invest anywhere between 60,000 crore to 1 lakh crore every month to address this divide, which is not sustainable, because setting up an institution easy, but sustaining that institution takes a lot of toll. And you all may be aware how difficult it is to operate an institution. So with this, the government of India came up with this idea of a few digital initiatives which can supplement and complement the existing physical face-to-face learning mechanism. So those are Swayam, Swayaprabha, NPTEL, NDLI, InflipNet. So these are all some of those supplementary learning materials initiatives. So NDLI was formally dedicated to the nation on the 19th of June 2018 by the then HRD minister. So let's see who is this for and what kind of content NDLI is hosting. So who is this for? NDLI is meant for every learner, starting from the school going children to college going students, youths, professionals, academicians and researchers, edupreneurs and lifelong learners. So we have wide range of content starting from like KG to lifelong learning. So basically what we do is, at NDLI, we collaborate with content contributors. Say, for example, if Dr. Ambedkar Law University has come up with, say, faculty publications which are non-copyrighted and which they are willing to share, we collaborate with them. So we give them an online learning or online sharing mechanism wherein they can also collaborate, and we facilitate that knowledge to be shared among all the learners registered in our portal. And today we have, you name any major educational and research institutions. For legal aspect, we have ILI, Indian Law Institute as a member, Human Rights Law Network as a content contributor. So few more legal related institutions which are collaborating. And today we have 251 such content partners. So what kind of content is there? So we have, this is as per DDC classification. Computer science, information and general works, we have 99 lakh resources. Technology, 1 lakh. Natural sciences and mathematics is about 83 lakhs. Social science is about 45 lakhs. Religion, 2 lakhs. Philosophy and psychology, 5 lakhs. And arts, 4.5 lakhs. Literature is about 7.8 lakhs. History is about 6 lakhs. And who are those top 20 content contributors? Like World eBook Library, from whom the government of India has procured national licensing. We have 77 lakh content from them. CiteSeerX, 5.2 lakhs. PubMed Central, 3.8 lakhs. IEEE, 33 lakhs. So you name major publishers, they are also part of the content contributors. And what type of content is available, resources are available, starting from video lectures to audio lectures, books, articles, term papers, assignments, assessment, data sets, law acts, you name any form of learning and knowledge resources, it's available. And article forms the major chunk of the resource. So 2.9 crore resources are articles, 63 lakh resources are about books, reports are about 12 lakhs, law acts are about 8.7 lakhs, law judgments is about 8.7 lakhs. And we have thesis also around 6.4 lakhs. So as I mentioned, we have closer to 4.78 crore resources, out of which 3.6 crore resources are full text access. Full text access means you can actually download and use it for educational purposes. So, which means 75% of our resources are full text resources. Now let us see how to access NDLI. So it's very simple. What you need to do is go to Google and type National Digital Library of India. The first URL which you will get is this one, ndl.iitkgp.ac.in. So that's our URL. So you have to click on this URL, National Digital Library of India. So once you click this, it will take you to our homepage, which looks like this. So this is how our homepage looks like. So you just have to close this part, and then you have to type on this search bar. So what I searched first is called Tamil literature. So you have to type the keyword and then click on this search icon. So, and then what I did was, on the left hand side, there are some filters. So starting from the filters are called access restriction, author, subject category, educational degree, difficulty level, educational level, file format, language, learning resource type, source. So these are the filters that are existing in our site, which you can use to further narrow down your results. So here what I did was, I clicked on language, and then I wanted only from Tamil. The language should be in Tamil. So I clicked Tamil. I got 2,920 results on Tamil literature alone. So then what I searched for is Indian constitutional law. So I searched for Indian constitutional law with one filter called access restriction, where I wanted only open and NDLI resources. So I clicked on this access restriction. I checked open and NDLI. I got, I think, around 31 lakh resources on Indian constitution law, which you can further filter it down by choosing the resource or subject category. And then I searched something called Code of Criminal Procedure. Here I applied two filters. One is the access restriction. I clicked open resources, and then source. So I wanted resources only from Indian Law Institute. So I clicked Indian Law Institute, and there are about 142 results on Code of Criminal Procedure. And then I searched something called banking law. So here I applied again two filter. One is the access restriction, where I clicked open and NDLI, and then the subject category is social science, because law comes under a subject category of social science. So we got 14.5 lakh results on banking law alone. And then I searched something called intellectual property rights. And here I just wanted only video lectures on intellectual property rights. So what I did was, on the right hand side, there is something called another filter called content type. So here I clicked video, and I got 9049 results on intellectual property rights. And then I searched something called international trade law. Here I wanted only thesis available around international trade law. So what I did was, there is something called source. Here I clicked Inflibnet Shodhganga. Shodhganga is called the repository of thesis available in India. So suppose if any student who submits a thesis to your university, what you have to do is, you have to push it to Inflibnet Shodhganga, and they will import that thesis into the national database, national repository. So we have tied up with Shodhganga. So ultimately all the theses which are available in Shodhganga we can fetch. So here there are about 6194 theses available on international trade law. So this is something that you may find useful. So during this time of lockdown, our team has further classified the content into various educational levels. So suppose if you want to access law related materials only, then you have to click Corona Outbreak Study from Home on the top of the screen. You click here, then this pop-up window will appear, and here you can click law. So once you click this icon, this page will appear. So act, judgment, article, etc. So this list will keep increasing. Currently we have around 6 resources: one from the Indian Law Institute, New Delhi; Legal Information Institute of India; Human Rights Law Network; Bombay High Court Judges Library; and High Court of Karnataka. So these 6 content contributors have contributed their resources to our library. And then I searched something called drafting and pleading. Here also I have chosen the source as Indian Law Institute, and there are about 12,000 such results. I clicked on this first. Suppose if you want to open this resource, what you need to do is click on this resource. You click on this resource, then this page will appear. So this page, so there are 2 icons on the top. One is the metadata, another one is the content. First you need to check the metadata. Metadata is nothing but basic information about the resource. So the title of that resource is Pleadings, Role and Significance, and who is the author? Bakshi PM. Source is Indian Law Institute. It talks about content type, publisher, file format, language, subject domain. So it gives the basic information, and you can also check the access restriction. If the access restriction is open, then you can download that resource. Suppose you want to download, what you need to do is click on this content icon, then you will have the entire resource on your mobile phone or on your system. Suppose if it's a video lecture, it will open like in a frame. This is how it will open. So there are some filter options which you may want to remember. The first filter you might have to remember is access restriction. So suppose if you want only the full text, which means you want to download that resource and study, then you have to click on open and ADLI. Then only you will get full text resources. And the second filter is author. Suppose you give a search word and you wanted it from a specific author, then you have to put that author here, then you will find out. And the third filter is subject category. Suppose if you want to search your own like domain law, then you need to click on social sciences. This is as per DDC classification, which is Dewey Decimal classification. It's based on the discipline. Based on the discipline, they have classified the resources. And the fourth filter is learning resource type. What kind of resource you want? Suppose if you want a book, go here and type book, you will get book. Suppose if you want audiobook, you click on this audiobook. Suppose if you want law acts, then you search for law acts and you will get. Suppose if you want thesis, type thesis and click there. Accordingly, you can filter the resources. And the fifth filter is source. Suppose if you want the resource from Indian Law Institute, you type the Indian Law Institute, then you will have to choose that resource source. Then you will get the sources only from Indian Law Institute. And on the right hand side, you will see the content type filter. Suppose if you want only video lectures, click on the video. Suppose if you want audio lectures, click there. Suppose if you want only the PDF or the text files, you click here. So accordingly, you can filter the contents. So as I mentioned earlier, access option, green lock open as full text. In the rectangle box written as National Digital Library of India, that is also gives full text. And you can change the language interface into various Indian languages. So currently it is available in English, Hindi, Bangla, Gujarati, Kannada, Odia, Tamil, and Marathi. So these are the 8 languages it is currently available on. And it is available, NDLI is available on as mobile app also. So currently we have in both Play Store and iStore. So you can actually download and use the mobile app. So this is how the Android mobile app looks like. So this is the home page of the Android mobile app. It has subject domain, learning resource type, featured resources. Suppose if you want to search for a resource, then what you need to do is click on this search icon, then this search box will appear. Okay, so here you type the search topic and then press enter in your keyboard, then it will fetch the results. Okay, suppose if you want to filter the resources, what you need to do is there is this orange color icon, click on this orange color icon, then the resource, the filters which we saw in the desktop will appear here. So what you need to do is just scroll. You have to scroll this icon so that you can find out the relevant filter which you want to apply. So here I wanted to apply the filter of source. So I clicked Aligarh Muslim University and then you have to apply. Then you get the required results. Okay. Am I clear so far? Okay, I'm going to unmute. I have unmuted all of you.
Okay, sir.
So if you have any specific questions, you can ask me. And what I want also you to do is kindly download the NDLI mobile app and take 5 minutes and search for the topics which you want to look for. So now it's 12:24. You take 5 minutes, 12:25, take 5 minutes. So in your mobile phone, go to Play Store and search for National Digital Library of India mobile app, download it, install, and then search. Okay, once you download, so I will show you also how to do this. So this is the mobile phone. Go to, click on the Play Store, and then go to NDLI. Even if you put NDLI, you just have to put NDLI. You will get the first URL. This is the app. So you download and install this app. So take 5 minutes and then search for the topic of relevance to you and see if it's useful for you. So after 5 minutes, we will resume the session. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to mute my mic.
பாதி போயிடுச்சு. அவர் ஏதோ அந்த லைப்ரரி பத்தி சொன்னாரு. நோட் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன், நீ எதுவும் பண்ணிடாத. அவர்
So were you able to install and try?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Sir, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am able to hear.
Sir, அது open பண்ணினோம். இப்போ it is asking for password.
User ID and password.
User ID and password it is asking for.
Okay, but you can search, right? So
Yes,
that
it
will
is opening.
it is
sir.
opening, right?
I
So you can
searched for
search.
Indian Constitution law, but it's asking
We
for.
may have to
Yeah,
create
yeah.
a user ID and password, sir.
Yes, you might have to do it. So what you need to do is there is an option to log in, right? So it asks for username and password, and below that you will see an option called sign up.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
click on that sign up page. Then it will ask for your
Basic.
full name, email, password, and confirm password. These are the 4 mandatory fields. You just fill these details, and then at the bottom you have to submit. Check the box and then submit. Then you will get a verification email in your the given email ID. So I'm going to mute the mic. I think a lot of disturbance.
One second, sir. Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
Is it compatible for iPhone?
Yeah. So you can go to iStore
Okay.
and download. It's available.
Yeah. App Store I have downloaded, but it shows that NDLI is not available. It shows the full term National Digital Library of India, Kharagpur. That's same thing, right?
Yeah. Same thing. Okay. So I'm going to mute all the mics, but if you want to ask any question, you can unmute your mic and then ask. Okay. So if you have any questions now, you can ask. If there is no question, then we will move on to the presentation. Okay, so I'm going to start the presentation. So are you able to see the presentation? Okay, so I will start. So what happens in most of the cases is like we use Google for any search. So we don't have any competition with Google. Google is a giant in itself. We are a very small initiative compared to Google. But there are some minor differences between Google and NDLI, and let's see this using a small example, right? So let's see. There is this girl called Payal who is studying in class 8, and she is studying in Hindi medium. And another guy called Shamik, he has completed his MTech and he wants to pursue his PhD. On both of them want to like study about magnetism. Okay, so what they did was both of them went to Google and they searched for magnetism in Google, and they both got 2.49 crore results. Okay, and then they came to NDLI and they searched for the same term called magnetism, and they got 4.19 lakh results on magnetism. So what Payal did was, you chose her educational level as 5th to 8th standard, and then she chose the language as Hindi. She got 56 results. And whereas what Shamik did was, he chose only career and technical paper and he got 219 results. So you can imagine the difference between Google and NDLI. See, what ultimately Google does is it brings any resource available on the term magnetism. Google can't distinguish between whether it's an authentic resource or an unauthentic resource, whether it's a coming from an fake institution or from a correct institution. It can't distinguish between what you call from relevant resource or irrelevant resource. So it has its own pros and cons. Whereas at NDLI, what we do is all our resources are primarily meant for educational purposes, and they are all curated for various educational levels. So, and we have filter options to narrow down the results, whereas Google doesn't have the filter option. Apart from this, NDLI has started procuring national licensing also. So that means, suppose if there is a resource which is paid, say for example, South Asia Archive was being procured by reputed institutions in the country, anywhere between 75 lakhs to 1.5 crore rupees, one institution. Whereas the government of India has procured national license from South Asia Archives and given it to all the Indian citizens at free of cost. So any Indian citizens can access South Asia Archive resources at free of cost. And similarly, World eBook Library, and that resource also Government of India has procured national license. And the Government of India is planning to procure more such resources for the welfare of Indian citizens. So ultimate big picture is government is looking at enabling an online learning mechanisms like Swayam Prabha, Gyan, NPTEL, NDLI. These are all supplementary learning mechanism wherein students can learn and uh, like obtain course degrees through online mechanism. And here we have a new initiative called NDLI Club, and so far I think your institution has not yet become an NDLA club. So I will just give you a small brief about NDLA club, and then we will take up some questions. So the idea of NDLA club is to promote the culture of reading among the student community, the young generation. So that is the primary objective, and also through which we want to promote the knowledge resources of NDLA to every Indian citizen. So what we propose is at least one student from each class and one faculty from a member from each department, with librarian as the ex officio secretary and principal as the ex officio chairman of the club. And they have to apply for an registration certificate, and we issue them a registration certificate which is valid for 1 year. And once we issue them the certificate, what they need to do is they have to create awareness about NDLI to the entire student and faculty community through the club, and they have to register them for NDLI, and then they have to conduct a monthly reading related activity that can range from a lecture series or a quiz competition or a storytelling session or a fishing go fish session, film screening, drawing, role play, writing, maker space, and debate. So these are just indicative list of activities. You may come up with your own activities for uh, that has to be related to reading and promoting knowledge. That's the ultimate objective. And they have to submit the activity report every month after the activity is completed. So within a year, they have to complete 10 reading related activities. And these are some of the activities being conducted by various NDLA clubs in the country. And we are also working out incentives for NDLA club. So we have started conducting reading Olympiad. So we conducted first reading Olympiad for Coimbatore district a few months back, and now we are planning to roll out it in all the districts of Tamil Nadu and also in rest of the country, and then state level and national level reading Olympiads for specifically for student community. And also we are looking at rewarding the best performing NDLA club at the district, state, and national level. So this is what I have wanted to share with all of you, and I'm open to take any further questions. So I will uh, unmute all of you, and if you have any specific questions, you can ask them. Any questions?
So, during at the time of registration, we have registered it only for UG and PG.
Okay.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But is it possible to check it for school curriculum also?
Yeah, you can. So you search for a topic, and then
Okay.
on the left hand side you have the filters. You
Okay.
apply the educational level.
Okay.
You can choose the relevant class, and then appropriately you can filter the content.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
It's going to end after that.
So there is a lot of disturbance. So I will mute again. If you have any question, you can unmute your mic on your own. Any other question? If you raise your hand, I can unmute you. Dr. Martina, you have any questions? Okay.
Sir, we have actually, I have downloaded.
Yes, madam.
Yes, it is getting inside, but still we have to see furthermore how we are able to search it.
Sure.
If we have any clarification, can we contact you?
Yeah. So I will give you my email ID.
Yeah, definitely.
So I will put it in the chat also, and you can note it down. It's Vignesh.
Yes, sir.
Vignesh at ndl.gov.in. Vignesh at ndl. At ndl.gov.in. And my personal email ID is also there. It's Vignesh, Vignesh, jnu@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. We have noted it. Since I'm using mobile for both Zoom and apps, I'm not able to access it now.
Okay.
Later on, I'll access, and if I have, if at all I have any doubts, I'll try to email you.
Okay.
Sir.
So I have given you my
Thank you for the
mobile
session.
ID, mobile number also in the chat, so you can call me if you
Okay.
have any problem.
Okay, sir. I'll note it
Okay.
down. I'll make a
So
note of it.
thank you so much. Thanks for participating, and I
Thank
thank Dr. Ashok for facilitating this meeting. Thank you, everyone.
We have to
Thank you so
thank
much,
sir,
sir.
on behalf of the university, because you have given us a very great information for us also, for our kids also. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. It will be really helpful for us in guiding our students as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.